sounds like there is a little bit of pressure, but I think that's all right. I'm very happy to be here today, and I'm not really sure how I'm going to follow up after all those amazing speeches. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my journey and how I got to where I am today. Yes, I definitely need the clicker. So my name is Aidan Aird. I'm a 17-year-old student at St. Brother Andre Catholic High School, and I consider myself an entrepreneur. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I got to where I am. Now I have 2 companies and a nonprofit organization. So I started at a very young age, as I've always had a passion for science, and I can really attribute it to my parents taking me to the science center, the zoo, to the museums, and for me that was an extraordinary hand God to find that passion, but not everybody has those experiences. As you can see here, as I got older, I continued to pursue this passion. During the winter, I wanted to be a professional NHL hockey player, and during the summer, a marine biologist. A little bit of a strange combination, and I don't think that's going to happen in reality, but I always wanted to keep that science side to me and stay true to that passion. I really like to believe that once you find your passion, as long as you take action, you're going to do something extraordinary on this planet. And for me, that's really my goal. As I found that passion of science at a young age, I continue to pursue it, and I hope one day I'm going to make a huge impact. So this was me at my first regional science fair. So I've been doing science fairs in my elementary school since I was in grade 3. Here in this picture, I was in grade 7. And so once you hit grade 7, it's the first opportunity you have to potentially compete at your regional science fair. So this was the York Region Science and Technology Fair. So there were about 100 students at this fair competing for an opportunity to attend the National Science Fair. So I had built an 8.5-foot long subsonic open circuit wind tunnel, which sounds like a mouthful, but to me at the time it was just a lot of fun. So you can kind of see it in the background there. And I initially started by competing in my school, and I worked very, very hard to do my best really with this project. And I was overjoyed when I heard my school had chosen me to represent the school at the regional fair. Little did I know that the regional fair would then pick me to represent Ontario at the national fair. So I had this extraordinary experience where I was surrounded by 500 other youth who were very, very passionate about STEM, who had developed all these incredible things due to the effort they put in to their passion. As they found a question, something that they wanted to learn more about, and they really went with it, and they chased it. Very much what you're doing today with all these extraordinary ideas that you're having, these different issues that you want to solve, that you're facing in your daily life. So the next year, I was hooked on this passion, and I couldn't stop. So I ended up creating my advanced aerodynamic aircraft wing system. And this got me back at the National Fair once again. So my first year was actually in Prince Edward Island. I spent a week in Prince Edward Island with these other kids competing. And here, this one I believe was in Windsor for my aerodynamic aircraft wing system. And so for me, this was extraordinary, as once again, I was submerged in this unbelievable environment with all these passionate teens. And so there were a lot of lessons that I'll tell you a little bit about more once I get through my other projects. So here I was in grade 9 when I did the Turbo Eco Cook Stove Plus, which was a modular cook stove which was designed to be able to be customized so it could purify water as well as charge a small electronic device, all while cooking efficiently. So I developed it all in the 3D CAD program SolidWorks, and I was very fortunate to have gotten a sponsorship from Javelin Technologies in Oakville to give me this opportunity to learn more in terms of how to do 3D design, and that was huge for me, as now I can design anything I can think of and 3D print it at home. Here, this was my Water Wheel Cart Plus. So this was my 4th project that I got to go to the National Fair with. And once again, unbelievable experience. It's something I'm going to have with me the rest of my life. And it's all because I put in the effort and took action and pursued my passion. So what the Water Wheel Cart Plus was, it was a way to transport water efficiently, generate electricity, as well as plant and irrigate crops. It was a modular system that they could customize as well to help people in developing nations. So what science really taught me is that failure is not really a bad thing. It happens often, it's natural. All you have to know how to do is really get up and get back after facing failure. And so it really should be seen as being one step closer to success, as I didn't have my projects done in an hour. They were not something, I came up with the idea, I designed it, bam, I was done. There were a lot of issues that I faced along the way, and I made sure that those barriers would never stop me. So here are a few of the extraordinary kids that I met through my science fair experience. And there was a common theme between all of them. When I come back from my science fair experience, nobody at my school, nobody that I would meet would know anything about the extraordinary things they were doing. There were kids who were developing different tools for prosthesis, different ways to tackle cures for cancer, cures for malaria. Yet they were not getting the exposure they deserved, and I felt it attributed to their age. They were being young, and a lot of people need to believe in the power of teens, and people just like you with all these extraordinary ideas. So what I decided to do was start a website, Developing Innovations. So Developing Innovations was my platform to inspire others to see what teens can do and their potential, as well as produce exposure for all these extraordinary kids that I was meeting. Up to date, I've featured about 70 students internationally who have done incredible things in the field of science. I really encourage you to take a look and read their stories on my website and see how you too could be one of these kids on my website. And if you're interested, just shoot me an email. I'd be more than happy to feature you for the amazing work you're doing here at Y2. So with these kids, some of them have had opportunities. I've assisted them in getting into universities, getting various scholarships. A good friend of mine, he was working in meteorology, and he actually, a TV show contacted me, and I put them in contact with him, and he actually ended up being a featured guest on the show, a regular guest, as a specialist, and they were storm chasers. So that was a cool experience for him, as well as a cool experience for me to see that I was making a real impact. So I realized there was room for expansion, and so I found that I could expand from just a simple website to a full set of programs in which I would go out with a group of volunteers to inspire others to fall in love and pursue their passions in science, technology, engineering, and math. So here you can see my group, a few of my volunteers. So I have over 30 teen volunteers who are doing incredible things. And so they're very, very, very passionate about what they do. I don't pick them because of the skills that they have at the time, as I want to see their potential. I want to see that they have a fire burning in them that they can share and ignite in another kid that we meet out in the community. So we've got some very young volunteers, some as young as grade 5. We actually had Luce's daughter, Leah. I don't know if she's in the crowd right now. If she is, I'd love for her to stand up. Even if she isn't, let's give her a huge round of applause. She actually came out to one of my events a few weeks back and did an extraordinary job inspiring the kids that came to the tables. She really knew how to light up as soon as they came and share her knowledge about these different topics. So basically what we do is we go out into the community with a huge display of fossil and insects, and we share our knowledge off of these fossil and insects. We've got a microscope, and we try and catch these kids who aren't naturally looking for this science-based experience. So these are the kids that are going to the hockey arena to play hockey. You've got the kids who are going to play basketball, and so when they finish up, we'll have this huge display of 8 tables where they can just stop by and talk to us. They can come pick up a tibia bone from a woolly mammoth, or a tooth from a woolly mammoth, or a real iron meteorite which is older than the Earth. And so it's this unique experience in which it's informal learning with teens teaching kids. So here, this is a presentation at one of the schools that we did. This was at Wismer. Whenever we have free time, say out of our exam period, we try and go to whatever school and present to as many kids as possible. This was at one of the libraries. The libraries have been great for us as a way to get out into the community with a lot of people. This was us at the Markham Museum, as we do their Scary Fest. We try and do as many events with them as possible, as they have a lot of kids going through there. And we give them an amazing science experience where they get to pick up and explore like a hands-on travel museum that's being brought to them. This is at the community centers. We try and do community centers frequently because it's an easy way to get out into the community to our target audience. This was one of our more chemistry-based things. This is our elephant toothpaste experiment. This was at one of the soccer club, Unionville Milliken Soccer Club's event. We try and partner up with other organizations that share similar passions, as we can collaborate to do extraordinary things. So this is me with the Astronaut Kids Space Program, which we've done a lot of work with. And Ray there, he does an extraordinary job of bringing together these youth to help them explore their passions relating to astronomy. And so really, the key thing that I learned through my experience with developing innovations is it's very essential for you to go out into the world and not wait for people to come to you. If you have an amazing idea, don't just sit back with it. You really got to go out and work hard to get your name out there. And for me, I was always going out to the community. I wasn't going to sit back and hope that these kids who hadn't found a passion in science, technology, engineering, and math, I wouldn't expect them to come to me, so I had to develop a program that would come to them and inspire them wherever they were. So here's a picture of my group. We try and designate a specific charity for each of our events, and so we'll have fossils that people can, for a donation, they can purchase. And the donation goes to whatever charity we choose. A lot of the time, 360 Kids, as they're an extraordinary organization which helps homeless youth in York Region. Here we were supporting the Share a Meal hashtag, which was for helping kids who are hungry and help feed them. Here, this is just a handful of the charities that we've supported through our program. We try and raise funds and awareness wherever possible, as we feel that's really invaluable. All of our events are completely free, as it helps us get as much impact as possible. But for these donations, it really makes a huge impact, and they get something that they can take home. This is one of our toy drives that we've done. We do a lot of toy and food drives wherever possible, as it's excellent to give back to the community. We are very, very fortunate to be the people that we are today, to be in this room, as it makes a huge difference, as others don't have these opportunities, so it's good for you to give back whenever you can. So STEM Kids Rock, the second organization or company that I founded, it came a little bit after my 3.Dash experience, which was about a year ago, as I was chosen as one of 30 global teen leaders who was making an impact in their community. So I went to this extraordinary event with these amazing teens. I was put with a mentor, such as the mentors that you've got here today. And we worked together and collaborated to make even more change in the communities once we returned back home. So that's when I developed STEM Kids Rock, which is more targeted. It's more of a rebrand of that outreach that I was doing before to really target those youth as much as possible with the new name, while still running developing innovations to more target an older audience. I also went through SHAD, which is an extraordinary program. I really encourage you all, if you haven't already, to apply and go to SHAD. That was income to my family, so I created my other company, which helps with rebranding companies as well as their social media footprint. As for me, that was something I really enjoyed doing, is being active on Twitter and helping others have a good footprint when trying to find clients. So I created Ayrshire Marketing and Management out of that, and so that really helped my family overall that year. And if you were ever put in that situation, or even if you're not, I think it's amazing to start your own company. There are some unbelievable lessons you learn from it, and there's a certain pride that you get out of doing it. So all three of my enterprises that I created were all from a need that I was seeing. So if you are seeing a need in your community, something that you feel needs to be fixed, don't wait for somebody else to take action and fix that. You should be the change you want to see in this world. So here, this is just a few of our accomplishments that I've had. And so we presented up to date to about 50,000 teens or kids through our school and our outreach programs. I've promoted over 70 young scientists on my website. And we've raised a lot of funds and awareness for various charities in the community. And for me, I think that the charity portion has been the most valuable, as I know that I'm giving back to the community, and really that's something that's powerful in and of itself. So I really encourage you to connect with me on social media. I'd love to talk more if you have any questions or want to learn a little bit more about my journey and how I got to where I am today. I'd be more than happy to share. And I really wish you the best of luck today with your pitches. You guys are really going places. And I think it's fantastic that Lucas is running this Y2 program. It's extraordinary. So thank you very much for having me speak today.